Welcome back, everybody, to the second to last power ranking. It is the top 10 going into conference championship week. Um, Georgia and Michigan are all but locked up for the college football playoff. I think they could both still lose and be in. TCU can be in. They have to win their conference championship, as well as USC. That is what the top four is looking like right now. For the playoff committee. But this is my personal top 10. Who do I think are the best 10 teams right now going into conference championship week? Previous results matter, but how are you playing right now? And with that said, let's just go ahead and get started. I'll give you the rank, the team, the record, points per game, defensive points per game, yards per game, defensive yards per game, and the last result. After that beatdown in Columbus, Michigan is your number one team. They are undefeated, 12-0. They, like I said, beat Ohio State 45-23. They will be playing Purdue in the Big Ten Championship next week. Georgia is number two, 12-0. They beat Georgia Tech 37-14. They will have LSU next week. The reason I flipped these two teams is I think Georgia has the greater amount of good wins, but Michigan has the two best wins of those two teams. Dominating Penn State, which is a top 8 team now, and the number 2 team at the time, Ohio State, who will probably still be top 5 or 6. Next, when the playoff committee releases their ranking, I kept them at number 3, 11-1. They lost to the number 1 team in the nation, in my mind, and it's not the end of the world. I think they're still better than TCU or USC at this moment. We'll see what they do in their conference championship games, and they could pass OSU, in my mind. TCU is number 4. They are undefeated. They beat Iowa State 62-14 Saturday, and they will play Kansas State in the Big 12 championship. USC is number 5, 11-1, and they beat Notre Dame 38-27. Good win there, a real good win, and they will be playing Utah in a rematch of their only loss this season. Alabama stays at number 6. They are 10-2, and they beat Auburn 49-27. 27 is a lot of points, but it's a rivalry game. I won't dock them for that. Now, Tennessee is number 7. They are 10-2. Tennessee beat Alabama. I think Alabama, if they played 9 more times, would win all 9 of them. It was kind of a fluky last play of the game win for Tennessee, but here they are at number 7. They beat Vanderbilt 56-0. Vanderbilt kind of got on a little roll there with a couple of SEC wins, their first ones in quite a while, but Tennessee said enough of that. And Penn State comes in at number 8, finally breaks into my top 10. Their only 2 losses are to the number 1 team and number 3 team, in my opinion. They beat MSU 35-16. Kansas State, believe it or not, comes in at number 9. They're 9-3. They beat Kansas 47-27. They will be playing TCU in that Big 12 championship game. And I know Tulane early didn't look good, but right now Tulane is a ranked team. So that's one of Kansas State's losses. At TCU is another one, and then Texas. But they do have quality wins at Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Kansas. So they come in at number 9, and Washington is your 10th team. The second team out of the Pac-12 is 10-2. They beat Washington State 51-33. So there you have that. And here is your conference championship games. They are all now decided. In the ACC, Clemson will be playing North Carolina. Big Ten, Michigan will be playing Purdue. Big 12, TCU versus Kansas State. Pac-12, USC versus Utah. SEC, Georgia versus LSU. In the American, you have Tulane versus UCF. Conference USA, you have UTSA versus North Texas. In the MAC, you have Ohio versus Toledo. And Mountain West, you had Boise State and Fresno State. And in the Sun Belt, you have Troy versus Coastal Carolina. So it should be another fun week coming up in Conference Championship Week. If Georgia, like I said, if Georgia and Michigan lose, which I don't think either one will, I think they're still in. They're probably your 1 and 2 seed in the playoff right now. And we'll see who else wants in this playoff. If USC wins, they're in. TCU wins, they're in. So there you have it. Will Ohio State sneak in? I still have them better than I have number 3. It's just going to take one of them 2 teams to lose, in my opinion, and Ohio State is right back into the playoff. But there you have it. My top 10 going into Conference Championship Week. Thank you, everybody.